Hey folks, Nick the Forester here, hopping off in another one tonight. Y'all seen we hopped into the Husqvarna 1100 tonight, kind of found what was the issue with it, why it had such bad vibrations. Now, granted, the air leak could be anywhere still, could be crank seals, could have been an intake gaskets, could have been a cylinder as loose as it was, but at the end of the day, that thing vibrated so bad I knew it had a loose bearing in it or something. And it came down to be the big end of the rod's got some up and down play in it, and the piston's got some wear in it, so it's rocking around in the bore, and wrist pin bearing is loose as can be in the low end of the rod. I didn't check the pin, check its play on the pin, but the pin's got a fair amount of wear in it, so that one's just gonna get a full rebuild, new crankshaft if I can find one, split the case, new bearings, new seals, probably a new piston, new cylinder. If I can source one, at least a new piston, we'll throw a new old stock piston in it. But next one I want to get into tonight is our Mcculloch 700 or 710 that we picked up that had no spark. It's got spark, couldn't get it to pull fuel, I put fuel down in the down the throat of it, it'd pop off. Rebuilt the carburetor once, pulled it apart 3 times to make sure all the patches were clean. Then finally I pulled it apart and looked down into the cylinder, and it had sucked the intake gasket in it down into it, which I already let this all loose down in here, so I'll pull it off and try to show you. Ain't gonna do a whole lot with, well, let's do more way now. Pull that guy out, set off with it. We ain't gonna do a whole lot with, just got a little bit of fuel off in there. I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh, that's blind as hell to y'all. What the hell? Y'all just gonna have to take my word for it. The intake gaskets sucked straight in there. For whatever reason, it loosened up. I see this bolt's loose, and it sucked the intake gasket in it for whatever reason. So we're going to end up having to pull the top tank off of it and put in some new gaskets. So I got some. We're gonna tear off in it, and we're gonna fix it real quick. Try to be real quick, anyways. That's a square head. Oh, it's an Allen head. Just a small little guy. Somebody done lost the original and put an Allen head in it. So, nope. Gotta go one smaller. So it's just putting intake gaskets in one. Pretty self-explanatory. Just that guy was real loose. Lord knows if it was even threaded really in there. Maybe on the edge. So, okay, that guy's loose now. Next up, I need to pull this guy off, which I think it's a 11mm / 7/16. At least it should be. That was fairly loose. The way that handle just rocked back tells me the bottom's already loose, so I think somebody already had their suspicions on it before I bought it. So we're just gonna pull it apart, throw some new intake gaskets in it. I'm just pulling this handle bolt off right now, which I guess I could bring y'all in a little bit closer. How about that? There we go. Guess I could put that gasket back on it for now. If it needs, I gotta Either pull one off one of my other saws or buy another one, because that ain't the right cap. It won't vent. It's not a vented cap. Oh yeah, this one's missing a whole screw down here. So luckily I got some of them I can throw off in it. But that one, I ain't noticed that before. Well, these guys are not easy to do with a flathead. Even though this one's loose, they're just in a bad spot. I'm gonna be doing some trading with a couple folks coming up, trading some saws around. I'm gonna let that farm saw go to a good collector, I believe. He's kind of semi-local to me. He's big on the P-Series farm Pioneers. Granted, it's a farm saw, but it's essentially a P-Series. That's what it is. Yeah, this thing lifted a lot. There we go. Oh, we're gonna have to dive off the oil tank. I don't know if there's any oil in it. I don't think there was. Because it's gonna have that bolt that runs up in here, I believe. I think I feel it right there. Let me double check. I can't tell if it's got that bolt in there or not. We'll just pop the oil cap off and see. Oh, there we go. See if it's got any gas off in it, or oil. What are we looking like down in there? Looks fairly bone dry. Might have just a touch off on it, so we'll pull it off real quick. Granted, it's probably gonna tear a seal or make it where it won't seal up again, but that's alright. I got some more of these gaskets, and usually I just glue them back on, to be honest with you. Well, the gasket's held up. Got just a touch of old oil off in there. Does it have, yep, it does have the, what's called in there, bolt. Usually they do. You'll be surprised. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes some models didn't have them, especially the early ones. Hell, it's loose. Go figure. Don't want to get my head off in here. That's it. I'm just pulling this bolt that's right up in here out. For those of y'all that don't work on these often, they got one in the oil tank to hold the front half of the tank down. Somebody used a pair of pliers to take this one out before, because it's got a bunch of wear on the head. I'll show you that. Got this little copper washer. Yeah, you see somebody used a pair of pliers to put that on last time. It's a little loose, but not bad. Alright. Like I said, these are fairly easy to pull apart. You're gonna have 3 bolts in here, one at the back to hold the back half of the tank down, and these 2 that hold the actual intake gaskets on. They got these little locks to hold them down, which that one looks to be loose. Only difficult part is getting around that, what's it called? Getting around the throttle here. Got it. Nope. You can take the throttle rod off, but usually I don't. I just bend it out of the way just a little bit, and it'll go back into position. There we go. Try to keep it all together. I'll have this little, like I said, little locking tab. help keep it from moving around. This one has a washer, and then the actual ID tag. This one wasn't pinned or riveted down into the cylinder. It's actually up underneath this bolt. It was never riveted down. It's a, if you want to see it, it is a true, I don't know if y'all be able to read that. It's a Mcculloch model 6052D, which comes back as a 7-10. So, leads me to believe it is what it is, but you never know. Sometimes this could have a 55 motor in it, could have a 1010S motor in it, but most a 700, but most likely it's a true 710. Come on now, this one's always a little tough. For some reason this block don't like to jive with me. Head of my wrench is just a little too big for it. Nope, it ain't gonna come. Look at that, it's cross-threaded. Oh, she's tight down there, so I think she might be cross-threaded. Might have to clean up them threads. Which if y'all watch some of my older videos, that 510 got me by being cross-threaded and then, or the threads being messed up in it and actually stripping out, and I had to tap that thing to a bigger size. I think if this thing has a bad hole off in it, I'm probably just gonna fill it with JV weld, drill it, and retap it. But we'll see that up here soon. So there we go. There's one. The other one's out. There's two. Pull it fully out. Sometimes there'll be a washer up underneath them. This one had them. Like I said, there's that little locking plate. You can see it has some tangs you tap up to hold these from coming out, but these were too far out, to be honest with you. They shouldn't have been that far out. Alright, then last thing should be this bolt, maybe this bolt, I can't remember off the top of my head. And that should be everything holding this top handle on. Gas tank assembly. Oh, besides, I'll have to pull this off to take our kill wire off. So I'll just have to pull this guy all the way off. Yeah, you see the tank just pop up. Gotta take these two bolts out. At least that first one. I think it's both of them though. I done probably 10 or 15, if not probably 20 or 30 of these. But still, I still forget sometimes. Plus, I get out here late at night. I think it's already 11:30, 12 o'clock. And, I just get tired. Mine don't get to going right. When you're tired, don't think straight. Last one is this one up here in the front. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But you see that handle's already coming off. But we've got to take this off so we can get our kill wire out of there. There you go. And I can actually pull one of these apart fairly quick. From 1 to. There you go. Top handle finally popped all the way off. There we go. That one's out. Set it over there. Pull that guy fully off. Leave those off in it. Pull our kill wire, which had already popped itself off when it popped up. And we're off. Yeah, you see, it done ate all of that. That's the only thing that's laying off in there. The rest of it either got ate off in it, or hell, it sucked bottom end too. Sucked that much of the bottom one off in it too. We'll look down in our bore. Still looks clean on the exhaust side. Doesn't look like we've ever ate anything on the intake side. It's got great compression. I mean, our compression button's pressed in right now, and it's still got great compression. Pull that sucker out, and it's got real good compression off in it. So, let me find my gaskets. They are right over here. Right in here. Let's see, that is. I'm trying to get some lockers so I can start organizing this stuff better than it being in these. Can't remember what that was. Oh, that was the intake block. I already used that. So I think I just saved it because it had the part number on it. Sometimes I'll do that. Just not even thinking of it. Yeah, I already used that guy. What else we got down in here? That's top gaskets. Oh, I got some intake gaskets. Ordered a handful of them. There's one for there. Bingo. There should be that one for the top side. The bottom one's gonna have just a single hole. Meet up each cylinder. So I guess I need to take this. I need to take the clutch cover off because it's right up against that right now. We don't want it to get a little cattywampus on us. There we go. So lay that one down like that. This guy up here. Gotta look on the bottom of your tank. It goes like, I think it went like so. I'm trying to remember. Nope, it'll show you on the bottom. It's got this hole here. That's how it goes, just like so. So we flip it back around like that. That hole lines up down there. That hole line up right up there. Usually I like to put a little grease on these, but I'm out of grease right now. Usually I leave them pliable where you can take it off a time or two if you need to. These gaskets ain't cut perfect. The only thing about aftermarket gaskets, they usually ain't cut just right. Double check that. Yep. Make sure this thing is fairly clean. If it's a little oily, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Which I guess before I really get into that, let me run our bolts down in here. Make sure our threads are good. A little loose up top. She tightens down good. We won't clamp this thing down like it was, or like I did have on some. They don't have to be super tight, but it's good if they're fairly tight. That one feels better. Not much, but it's better. These things definitely on and off a time or two. There we go. It's gonna take our razor blade, clean this guy off a touch. I'll take some brake clean and clean it off. Biggest thing is just don't get nothing down in the cylinder. So I leave the piston up, I can grab it. But you can also take rag, a little bit of brake clean, go off of it. usually take most of your old gasket off on these. You'll have a little discoloration like what's on this one, but it'll be fine. I'll do the same thing up on the tank. So if I had some grease, I would grease this grease these gaskets up so they stay a little bit better, but I don't, so working with what I got. There we go. Goes off in there. Lay our block down, clean out the edge of it. There we go. Make sure your hole lines up fairly good. Then, once this one didn't get punched out all the way, gotta pull this little punch out of it. It goes like so, or like so. Sometimes it'll take me a second, like that. So it'll go like so. There we go. Ain't a perfect fit for this tank or for this block, but it's pretty darn close. Close enough to do what we're going to do. Alright. Y'all may get on to me, why ain't you cleaning that up? Well, I'm just wanting to get it going. Alright. Let's grab our bolts and washers. Set them back down on it. Oop, phone's dying, so gotta speed this on long. Bolt, put our washers down first. Throw our bolts off in here. And typically your plate goes like that. Set it off down in here. I'll set my bolts down first. Let them rest and try to get them lined up the best I can. That side ain't wanting to line up with the crap. Might have gotten pushed back a little bit. Alright. I'll typically try to get them started. Started. Leave this guy started. There we go. There got started. I had to bend that tab just a little bit further. Still not wanting to go up like I wanted to. Alright, start locking her down. Alright, that one's already 3/4 of the way down. Started tightening it up yet. I just gotta bend these tabs further back for some reason. I did not want to turn back. Let's see. There's my hammer. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. That tab out of the way. Let's move this one out of our way. Now we can tighten it down. That one's tight. Now this one's gonna be a bugger. There we go. Sometimes I'll reef these down, but I've gotten where I try not to anymore. She's nice and locked down now. Oiler works. It's in position. Let's go ahead and pop these tangs back like they were. Get a little, just a touch more on this one. That way, put that tang up and it'll hold it there. What I do is just take a screwdriver, start popping it back up, or you can take a punch. Punch is truly better. Right there. There you go. This side's a lot tougher to get to. There we go. That should keep it from loosening up. May give it one. We'll give it one more ding. Ooh, that hurt a little bit. That's a nice little ding on the finger. Still ain't wanting to go all the way over. Let me pop this one a little bit closer to it. That won't go nowhere. That guy needs to go over further. I'll go with a screwdriver now. If I can get in there. No, I can actually get in there from here. Grab that punch again. Right there. Oh. Say that. Now I can't get on it. There we go. Now they're locked down in there. I'll see now. These tabs are bent right there and right there. The bolt shouldn't loosen back up now. Make sure it's still smooth. And I fit here in some what's it called now? Come on, words, Nick. Impulse. That's the word I'm looking for. Set that back up. Set that back up. We'll sit it back over here. Getting tired. That guy. That'll be fine. Getting back in there. Alright. Really, before you lock that down, you need to put these in, but I didn't. So, it'll be a little bit fun trying to get it back in there. There's that guy. That's it right there. It lined up pretty good. So that's good. I don't believe anybody's really been inside the motor on this one. Looks very clean inside this tank. That's a good sign. There we go. This little bugger right here can be aggravating. That's why folks take needle nose and just spin it on in there. Really need a ball point, ball end, Allen key to really get on it good, but you can do this. It's just time consuming. extra tight there. I'll just give it just a touch. There. Ain't gotta be super tight. You don't want it super tight. Alright. You can still move this guy forward and back. So we'll take this guy that goes in the rear part, put it back down in there. Probably have to move that down there, that next, and try to get, gotta go down anyhow, and be a little bit of a bugger. If you don't pull out that, what's it called? Oh, let's see. I think that needs to go forward, just forward or back, just a titch. Rather just nope. Wonder if we got it angled off just a titch. I think she straightened up there. Nope. Oh man, that's aggravating. I should have started that before I did anything else, 'cause now it's gonna be off just a titch. Yep, it is. Really don't want to pull those, what's it called, loose again. That was my fault. I think she got it started there. I clipped it wrong. Yeah, it did. Alright. Tight. I usually don't put the tab on this one back down because it's just a pain to get to. This one, it don't really matter if it loosens up. Ain't the end of the world. Get this guy going back again. There we go. I mean, y'all see me essentially take this thing down from stock to here, so I really want to get this. I liked how this handle is wrapped, honestly. So I'm going to try to get this thing to go back under that wrap, kinda. Can. Grab the flathead. I'll pop it back over. Wrap. I don't know what little wrap they used at one time, but I like it. There we go. Underneath it now. And as I tighten it down, it'll go back underneath what's left of it. Go. Get this to pop back over it. There we go. All right, now we're down to, gotta put our kill wire back on. There we go. We can throw our tank back together. Set it over here. This is on this side, Mcculloch facing up. This guy can be a little bit of a booger sometimes. I try to get lined up before and set my tank on and start screwing it on down. try to get this wrapped up under 40 minutes. We'll see how I can do. Looks like she's sealed there. Looks like she's sealed all the way around. We'll see. I doubt it will be. I'm sure it'll leak some. They always do. But like I said, I can always reseal it. Typically what I do anyways. Go ahead and try to put our copper rail back on, which we just gonna need a gasket for. I don't see one down here. So I gotta get my gaskets back out. Or do I? Was there a gasket in this? Cannot remember. I had one sitting up here from the other day, but I don't see it now, so we'll just grab another. I used to hand make all these, and I've about gotten out of it. Got tired of doing it. Could be one right there, but I'm gonna save that one. That was a real nice example of one. There's one. Just a good old gasket. Alright, set the gasket on down. At least that's what I do. Like I said, typically I grease it, but I'm out of grease right now, so we're just gonna roll with it for now. Now this is where it can be a little fun, especially with this thing having the, what's it called, it does help if I put this on the right. Well, hell, it had a gasket on it. I have to pull that one off, that one's ripped. Oh, come on. It's not wanting to come off nice and easy. Sometimes they will, most of the times they won't. I'll have to clean it up with a little bit, get a little bit of brake clean. I know the old saying, cut toward your buddy, not your body. I don't follow it very well, if you can tell. Yeah, that thing's just, that it's been on there a while. Get what we can off of it, and we'll scrape the rest. I truly do like the STCs on here. I know I made that video about putting the Husqvarna 272 carb on these, but I do like the Warborough STCs that are on here. It's just that one had an issue. Y'all seen it? So if I have come across some that have issues, then I'll start swapping them over. Just because these, you're getting a crapshoot if you try to buy one online, if it's going to be good or not. So how about quit trying to fool with it. This one's in good shape. That's a true 710 with the long needles. A little bit of crud down in there. As long as it's just gasket material, it'll eat it and it won't hurt it. It's like eating a small fine. Is it necessarily good for it? No, but it ain't gonna hurt it at the end of the day. There we go. Probably gonna run past my 40-minute time, but that's okay. There we go. We got it cleaned up pretty good. I doubt any of that's gonna cause us an issue. Plus, when you throw a little bit of brake clean on this, go back over it with a scraper, it'll usually come off. It'll come off just a touch better. It'll loosen it up a little bit, break it down. You can scrape it till the cows come home. But, alright. Let's get our throttle rod set off in here. Need to pull this idle back out of here. I think that idle on the side, which these ones that had the needles coming out the side, they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're just kind of aggravating working on. They're nice, nice in some aspects, kind of crappy in others. But that's just how life goes, you know. Oh heck, what did I do with that one screwdriver? I have a long, thin one I use. Take these out. I don't have my tuning screwdrivers in the truck. We'll snake it past it. Get it down there. Get our gasket back lined up. Got these two guys. Before I do that, let me pull these needles out of here. Remember, do they come out? They come out one way or the other. They can be a bugger to get. It's supposed to seal up like that. Yeah, these things can be a real bugger. Oh, that one's already going halfway out of it. If I pull it out, maybe I can push it back in. I think I'll be able to. Set this guy back in here. Oh, done popped our gasket back out. I guess it'll take me an hour to get this thing back together. Pull on the handle a little bit. Just get our code off down in there. Come on. There you go. Oh, nope, gasket slid out. One thing about that throttle being there, really need to take it out, but I'm trying to avoid that. Like I said, it can be a bugger. Trying to deal with it. I have to end up taking it out, at least backing it off a lot. So I may pause y'all, go grab my other screwdriver real quick. Wish I knew what that orange one was. That's the one I use. It's a real thin little bitty guy. Cause this one's way off in here. I may be able to get it with this. Nope. I don't know who did that. They really jammed this guy down in here. Looks like a replacement one, honestly. I can get it to come out this way. Just take a second. There we go. Now we pull it out. So you pretty well need to pull it out to put these back in, at least semi-easily. Now, and maybe in the next video I'll show one setting it up. But I have to get my tuning screwdriver out for that. There we go. We're 3/4 of the way out. Alright, now we can pop it in there pretty easy. Get your gasket lined up. That's the biggest issue, is just trying to get it all just right. You see, I still have trouble from time to time, even though I've done 100 and a half of these. Feels like, at least. That one's already down. Quarter. This thing, there you go. She's tight. Leave me on that, she's tight. Alright, now I typically go to my choke, pull it all the way to that side. I'll run it in here. Come on, don't do that to me. There we go. Phooey. Done messed up, y'all. Gotta put my choke arm underneath that before I do that. Let me pull this back off real quick. Gotta get it where it'll come up there. There you go. Really? I have to pull it all the way back off. Just set that guy off in there. That was my mistake. Got too big of a rush. Thankfully, looks like she's going back down into place. And she's threading, so that's good. Okay, try that one more again. I don't think this thing came with an air filter, so I might have to pull one out of something else to put in it. So I got a handful of these. I think I got an air filter somewhere for it. But where it is at the moment, I don't know. And you just put your choke all the way in and pull it out slightly and pop right in there. So choke works, throttle works. Now gotta put her needles in. That's high, that's low. This guy can be a little bit of a bugger. There you go. And you gotta remember, I believe that was our low jet. I should have paid more attention. I believe that's our low jet, and that's our high jet. It's got a little less adjustment on it. Would have helped if I had actually paid attention, wouldn't it? Oh, it's really that spring. Let's put that spring in first. Which I can double check that real quick. This time they're going to be a different size. I believe that's our low jet. I do believe. I'll double check real quick. Yep. Can't go up in our high jet, so it's got to be our low jet. It's already bottomed out right there. Alright, makes that easy. Thought I was right, but just gotta confirm. Okay. grab that other spring, throw it off in there. We're gonna end up being an hour. Watch it. Go. This guy all the way back out. There we go. Throw our low in there. I'll have to search around for it. But she's there. That's one thing that's aggravating with these. I like the small jets off in them. See if I can just get our big jet started. High jet. Doubt it's gonna be any nicer to us. Now where she's gonna start. Play with it just a little more. I said these things are fairly aggravating. Alright, I know I'm there. Let's pull it out just a titch. See where we're at. There are carbs. Little cattywampus. Just put that in right, yeah. It's just little cattywampus. Really dislike these. Trying to get these guys in there, I never am good at it. All the way down. She's in there. Just trying to get it to go all the way. Get where it'll start. What am I hitting that's holding this sucker up? May have to pause y'all real quick, see what the heck's going on with this thing. Now, just gonna loosen the carb again, once again, start these guys, and then get it back. So I'm just tired of fooling with it now. I'm just tired for the night, my friends. Got know that's our high jet. Just wonder what's going on with it. Why are you acting the way you are? 'Cause you're down in the hole. Yep, it's down in there. If I gotta get this started off camera again, I'm gonna be so aggravated. So I like the ones that don't come through the side. Alright. Now it is off. Push all the way off in there. Oh, it's not wanting to go through the, what's it called? That's our issue. I don't want to go back through our gasket. So how are we going to remedy that? Wait. Nope, my dumb ass. Setting that in the high, and that's definitely the low. So that's on me. Now I'm going to have to press it back through there. Man. If you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. So I've always been told. That show the truth. Send it back through. Because that is not the right one. But we didn't damage it, so that's good. It's a good thing, good thing. Set this guy back down in here. We'll get these started. Then we'll scald that bugger back in there. Which are, looks to be, our gasket's still semi-lined up. I can get it to line back up fairly easy. Have to get it lined up first. These things can be a little bit of a pain if you can't tell sometimes. There we go. Gasket is lined up. Now, let's send this guy back through. All these got a couple threads on them. It'll be alright. Alright. That is our low jet. Nick. Myself. Get it right. Oh, man, that thing's tough to get through there. Yep, sure helps if you do it the right way. This is our high jet. Oh man, phone's about to die. Let's go ahead and finish this off real quick. And we can get it to work its way off in there. There we go. guys all the way off in there. Get it started. We'll lock it back down now. Last time. My goodness. Getting too late to work on stuff for me. That's how I know. Start making little mistakes. There we go. There we go. They're locked down there pretty darn tight. That works. At least they're in place. I can get them. They're going to go down in this, what's called fairly deep. Yep, they always do. So that's done. We'll go ahead and start our throttle rod back, but we're going to have to get our tuning screwdriver to finish it. And we already broke an hour. I'm just going to get it to barely seat on it. I'll have to get my tuning screwdriver to finish it off. You just want it to where it's, alright, it started touching there. Go one turn. I do 1.5 to start off with. Right there. That should be close. If it ain't got a air leak somewhere, that should be close. Go ahead and put our starter housing back on. It looks like it'll line up fairly good still. Set her off down on here. Gotta use her. There we go. Gotta pull it out a little bit. You can usually get these started off pretty easy. Got that one. Oh, what I do with my two little guys. I'm gonna set them up under here. That one goes in the front, a little bit longer one goes in the back. I had to get them all started first. There we go. Come up here to the front. Oh, why are you not starting? I'm gonna have to pull that one out, and I'm gonna pull this one out. They didn't go where they needed to go. Sometimes you get up underneath them and pull them out. There we go. You have to send them up on a little bit of an angle. They'll usually fall right where they need to go, like that one did. Grab this guy out here. Got it in its hole. You'll feel it when it falls down in it. Starter rope could be a little bugger on these. We'll grab this last one real quick. Now I'll probably put I gotta find my other screw for that handle. I won't worry much with it tonight. I'll at least have it 3/4 of the way back together. And now y'all know. Y'all know the gist of it. Know enough to be dangerous. Go ahead and lock that guy on down. There you go. Go ahead and lock this one on down. There you go. That one's locked down. One back here in the back. locked down. That one's locked down. There we go. Put a little fuel out of it. Put our oil tank line or cat back on. Then this fuel line, now it's good, but I don't know how much longer it's gonna last. Take a needle nose. You could put it on before. I typically put it on after. Just worm it back down on there. There you go. It's back on there. I said these aftermarket, which I believe this is an aftermarket one. They ain't worth crap, in my opinion. Put our clutch cover back on, even though it's broken off a little bit at the bottom there. I'll leave this one up on the bench, that way I know I need to finish putting it together. But I gotta find that one bolt for that handle. Handle's up there. It's our cover. Fits like a glove. Voila. So, ended up being an hour and 7 minutes. I was 10 minutes of that was my mistakes. Actually, hell, probably closer to 15. I said, just getting tired tonight. Still got walloping compression. You don't want to pull that over without the decomp in. But now we'll at least be able to pull fuel since it's got good intake gaskets in it. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. We post twice a week. And if y'all ever need anything, please hit me up down in the comments, or want to talk, anything, hit me up in the comments, or send me an email at nicktheforester22@gmail.com. And I will see y'all on the next one. Hope y'all have a great rest of the evening and a great week ahead. Thanks, y'all.